Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Hard Corner Podcast, where on this episode, this one's going out to the ladies. Here's our hosts, Dale and Eric. Gentlemen, take it away.
Thanks, Brent. This is going to be a topic that's near and dear to mine and Eric's hearts. We're both married to two wonderful, beautiful women.
Are we live right now?
Yeah, we're live. Oh, shit.
I thought this was a test.
We'll probably put up with more stuff than they should of us. Would you admit to that, yes or no? Me more so than you.
Yeah, yours more than mine.
We also have two daughters, right? So it's very important for us that they're safe, that they understand, things that they need to do, and habits they need to have to remain safe. And anywhere they go to Target, they're going to Seven Brew or Starbucks. And this is a lot of stuff we talk about today is what we talk about in our training classes for active aggressor survival and for women specifically, because we want to give you some tools and some mindsets to be able to sometimes get out of your comfort level to maintain your safety.
Yeah. So we're going to cover a bunch of different topics and some tips to give you guys so that you can utilize them anywhere you go at any time.
The first thing I'll add to this, and I've told my wife this, and we teach everyone this, she's 5'2", 120 pounds. She's very small. A lot of times women don't feel like they can be rude to people, but if you're approached by someone and they make you feel uncomfortable, it's okay to be rude. No, I'm leaving. Leave me alone. We always tell you to trust that intuition. You trust your gut, so to speak. So a lot of times women don't feel like they can be rude because it's not in their nature, because they're nice generally.
Or society kind of wants them to be polite. It's a cultural norm.
Correct. But if you're at a size disadvantage, obviously you need to get to where you need to go. So it's okay to be rude and trust your intuition.
Absolutely. One of the things I'm going to talk about is kind of vehicle safe operations. Like a lot of, women drive vehicles around all the time. They're all over the place. One of the things I notice, whether it's a man or a woman driving a vehicle, is they're constantly riding the bumper, or when they come to a stoplight or a stop sign, they pull right up on the bumper, right? What I'm going to suggest is that you pull your vehicle to a stop where you can easily look over the hood of your car and see the rubber of the tire touch the road of the car in front of you. And what that does is it allows you an out. In case someone were to approach you, carjack you, get into your vehicle, you can immediately step on the gas, cut your wheel, and you have an out. Don't box yourself in. You got some?
Yeah, I'd like to add something to that too. Spatial awareness. You'll see here my cell phone. We are tied to these, tethered to them, so to speak. Do not walk around in public spaces with AirPods in. Don't be scrolling social media while you're walking through a parking lot or in public, because you become a crime of opportunity for someone. If you're not paying attention to your surroundings, you're much easier to be dealt with in a way where you can become a victim of a crime. There's a saying says, "Fake it till you make it." Whenever you're walking somewhere, walk with purpose. Always keep your keys or something in your hand to where if you had to disengage from a possible attacker, you could do so. So just be spatially aware and don't be so caught up in your phone or your AirPods to where you're not paying attention to like the 360 stimulus that the world gives you.
Yeah, but if you want, let's say you're walking through a dark parking lot, walking to your vehicle from somewhere late at night, you can put your phone on 911 ready to go. And then if you had to, press the button. You don't have to necessarily talk into the phone. They'll hear what you're saying, but that's just another option.
And I'll add something else that I've just kind of talked to my wife about. My daughter, she's 16 and a half. We got some American Girl stuff we sold. If you're selling stuff online, like Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, don't ever let them come to your house. Meet them in a public space. A lot of police departments have designated locations at different divisions or districts to where you can safely make those transactions with the camera, even call an officer out for the transaction if you want to. Don't meet them at your house. Definitely meet them in a public space if you're selling anything online.
Yeah. Let's say you're walking down the street. Like we talked about, you walking to a location. If you're walking down the street and you notice someone who's walking in your direction that's making you feel uncomfortable, or even a large group that's coming in your direction, what I'm going to suggest you do is cross the street, right? Put yourself in a space that's a little safe and create some distance. Now, if that group or that person crosses the street and follows you, that should be a red flag. We know something's up. But what that does, it kind of gives you a clue so that you're not being rude or you're not being impolite. You're not challenging people, but you're creating time and distance away from others. And if they put themselves in that same space, then you should be aware and be able to read that.
Interesting, guys. So I'm going to just recap for the audience so far. It's okay to be rude. That was a pretty interesting one. I never would have thought of that. So it's okay to be rude, and if you have to make yourself seem dramatically different from the way women are traditionally viewed as polite, being rude could allow you to give yourself some space. Speaking of giving yourself space, do that with the bumper of the car in front of you. Make sure you've got enough space that if you had to pull out and go around that car in a moment's notice, that you do that. Being spatially aware instead of face down in the phone. You have your head up, pay attention to what's going on around you. You've also mentioned some really great tips for selling things on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or any of these other places where you meet people out in public and sell. Do not have them meet you at your home. And then Eric, your last tip that you gave there. I mean, this is some really incredible, helpful things to think about. Having your phone ready in on 911 or ready to dial 911 if you're walking through a dark alley, and then crossing the street being a way to observe if you feel unsafe. If somebody that you feel unsafe is heading toward you and they cross the street to the same side you're on, now you have something you need to take a little bit more action on. So really good stuff. Hey, by the way, fans, while you're listening, if you like what you're seeing, sure enough, like and subscribe. Guys, continue on with the list. Great stuff.
I got one more, man. Got one more. I know we love our movies. I know we love to watch the shows, and they have all this cool high-tech stuff and all these things that happen. But we got to understand a little bit of Hollywood magic here. If you choose to utilize a ECW, an electronic controlled weapon, or a taser, as they say, understand that when you deploy that taser and you hit someone with the arc, or you hit someone with the darts that come out of those things, the probes, understand they will not pass out and lay there on the ground for 5 to 10 minutes and allow you to run away unchallenged. Usually the setting on those is about 5 seconds. And after that 5-second ride, as we call it, they're literally right back to the same position or the same mindset and strength that they were before.
And they're just pissed off.
Yeah. So tasers are good. They're a tool, but understand nobody's going to fall down and pass out. They may fall down, but they're not going to pass out like you see in the movies.
And I would go on to say, too, that, like, I'm not going to get into specific weapon platforms or weapon systems, but no matter what you have, whether it be pepper spray or anything else, you've got to practice with it. Like, you've got to understand how it functions. You can't just have something that you think is going to save your life one day and just the first day you're going to use it, it's going to work. Because there's going to be malfunctions, there's going to be failures. So whatever you do for your personal safety, and we teach this to everybody from officers to civilians, is you've got to practice with it. If you don't practice with it, you don't know what's going to happen the time you need to use it. And the other thing I'll say too, like my 16-year-old daughter, she has like this really loud noise making thing. Noise a lot of times can also deter people as well. So no matter what you use or what you have, make sure you know how it functions and make sure you know how to use it more than anything else.
But my personal opinion on pepper spray, on that OC spray, I think it has a purpose. But in our experience, if you use that at work, not only do you spray the person you're spraying, everybody gets a little bit of that, and it's going to be in the room. So I'm going to suggest there's a more modern thing that they use called gel. Mm-hmm. And so when you spray that OC or that pepper spray, it comes out in a gel form, not a aerosol form. And that gel stays on the target that you're intending, and it has a less
it coats the skin much better.
It coats the person and stays on that person and doesn't get everybody else around them. So
I'll tell you this. I used pepper spray once in 23 years. Once. And I regretted it.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
One time. That was it.
It's more of a decoration on the belt of a policeman.
I used our tasers once in 23 years. Like, those aren't anything. Anytime you have a tool that's prone to failure, it's probably going to fail.
Yeah. I think the ECWs that we used on the department, I want to say they were about 65% effective.
If that, yeah.
So yeah, nothing's perfect. No tool you use is going to be a magic, wand that makes everything
and then
go away.
Even further, just a little tip for people. So in cold weather, they're probably 30% effective because people have multiple layers on. So those probes don't go through. And the civilian models aren't nearly as good as the ones that we had through Taser. So yeah, just understand the limitations of your tools for sure.
Yeah. So we like what's called a layered effect, right? You have tools, you have education, you have knowledge, and you practice these things. So you have what we call this layered knowledge or this layer of defense that you can put between you and that danger zone. So that gives you the most opportunity to escape or overtake.
And I would say this too, the last thing I'm going to say, unless you have any questions, Brent. To me, what's far more important is your mindset, your attitude, and how you carry yourself than what tools you use.
Don't put yourself in a bad situation.
Be aware so you can avoid ever having to use whatever you've got to use because, I walked on the side of the parking lot because I felt something was wrong over here. So like just be more aware. That's going to get you in a lot more trouble than anything you could possibly, use as a tool.
All right, I got one for you. All right, so let's say there's a lady who does her best to try to be prepared, not having to be in a situation like this where she feels uncomfortable. But let's say that for whatever reason, let's say she's a nurse, okay? She's working the late shift. She comes out to the parking garage. She feels safe going to her car. She gets in her car to go home, and she doesn't have enough gas in her car to make it. Now, obviously, for whatever reason, she couldn't have gotten gas during the daytime. Now it's late at night. She's by herself. She's downtown. She's got to stop and get gas. What does she do? What's the best way for her to be, aware of her surroundings, yet now she's got to put herself in a potentially, threatening situation?
Well, number one, look for a gas station that's well lit. It's well populated. You don't want to go to a dark place that's kind of out of sight of people. So you want to have those layers. Next, when you get out of the car to put gas in, take a look around. Understand that gas pump in your hand is a weapon. If someone were to come and approach you or attack you, you spray them with gas. There's actually a pretty popular video out where there's a guy pumping gas and a van pulls up to, I don't know if they're going to carjack him or rob him. He ends up spraying like 3 or 4 guys with gas and they take off. If that doesn't happen, right, and you put gas in your car, go ahead and sit in the car and lock the door. Now, while the gas is pumping, if you need to drive off, I'm sure we've all seen somebody driving down the road with a gas pump attached to the car, right? It's meant to break away.
I did it as a brand new officer chasing a robbery suspect. It was very, very,
personally, I've never done that, so
he didn't chase robbery.
I have to hear the story. I didn't chase robbery.
I saw it happen live once, and it was before they had the breakaways, and gas was spraying everywhere.
Oh my God!
Literally, I'd been on the police department 3 months. I'd been by myself for 3 months, and I was mortified.
Yeah, I've never. Okay,
I'll one more thing to Eric's too. When you say police, look for a gas station where there's a police car at. A lot of police officers hang out at gas stations. And the last thing I'll say is just be more prepared. Leave 5 minutes early to get the gas because everything we do in life is based around preparedness and putting yourself in the best situations to succeed, whether it's your job or safety. So take that extra 10 minutes. Go get that gas. The night before, go get it. But if not, look for a gas station that has donuts where a police officer may be eating his donuts.
What's the saying? An ounce of this is worth a pound of that. How's that go?
An ounce of prevention
is worth a pound of
what? A pound of problems, I think, something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. You brought it up.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just heard that before. It sounded smart, and I'm doing my best.
We don't sound smart right now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying over here. But you guys are talking about the amount of preparation. This is a lot of. Whether it's something you carry with you to defend yourself, don't make the first time you're using it be when you're in a situation. Get out and practice with it. You're talking about thinking through your days so that you don't have to stop and get gas at night, when it could potentially be more dangerous. Take the time to, before you head to work, make sure the car is full of gas. Just take this preventative approach to what you find yourself in scenarios, and thinking through it before you find yourself in that situation will save a lot of grief, a lot of stress, a lot of frustration. Anything else? What else for the ladies, guys, before we wrap up?
Man, last one I got. Obviously, you see us having some, beverages here. If you're out and about or you're out with your friends at a bar or a club or something like that, pay attention to your drinks. Watch your drinks. I know a lot of guys, use drink as a pickup line. And I see a lot of women or girls, take those drinks because they're free, but you never know what's being put in them. I've been involved in a number of situations in the police department where, women were assaulted because they had something put in their drink and didn't even remember what happened. But either keep an eye on the drink. Don't take a drink from someone you don't know. I've even seen some people take those coffee cup lids and put those on top of their drink to kind of keep anybody from dropping anything in there.
The only thing I'll add is there's companies that sell things for that exact purpose. And if y'all want to sponsor us, just let us know. We'll push the product.
There you go. Yeah, make sure. I used to be a bartender, so just make sure that if a guy's bringing you a drink or buying you a drink, you watch the bartender make it. Don't let the guy bring it from the bar to you. That's a great opportunity for somebody to slip something in a drink.
Yeah.
Good stuff, guys. For the ladies, anything else?
That's all I got, man. I'm sure we'll have something in the future, but
yeah, again, we're gonna our content's gonna be varied based upon a bunch of different stuff that we're really interested in and are passionate about. So look for more stuff like this, whether it's kids safety. We may do some online safety in addition to our breakdowns of active aggressors and all the other myriad of content we're going to be sharing with you. Hopefully it meets your standards and something will create you'll like, because it's going to be a lot all over the place.
Or if you have a topic you want us to discuss, let us know.
Yeah, hit us up in the comments. I won't read the comments because I'm very sensitive. So just Brent will take care of the comments, right, Brent?
I will read the comment. And with that, folks, thank you very much for watching another episode of Hard Corner. Check us out next time. Leave comments. What do you want to hear from us? What kind of feedback? What kind of help you want? Let us know. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, everybody. See ya.